Hey guys, how are we doing? Just want to make sure that everyone can
The
hear me.
broadcast is now starting. All attendees are in listen-only mode.
It is such a pleasure to be talking to you tonight. So just give me a second while we get ready. Just want to say it is such an honor to be speaking to you about something that is completely dear and near to my heart, which is really the power of detoxification. Just to even tell you a little about myself and what detox is for me. Detox is not about sitting there and just drinking juices for 25 days, although totally possible. It's not about deprivation. It is not about being on a water fast. It's not about the typical words that we associate detox with. Detoxification is a very, very critical and important process to keep your body healthy, your immune system strong, your digestion working, which means that you're not farting at a business meeting, passing gas in any place that you don't want, gurgling, acid reflux. And as Hippocrates said, all disease begins in the gut. So healthy detoxification is imperative also for something called your methylation cycle. And this is the foundation of every key process in your body that is necessary for you to lose weight, for you to have energy, for you to convert, glucose that gets entered into your body into energy instead of storing as fat. So this process of detoxification is one that I think we overlook because this word has become such kind of a curse word in a lot of people's thoughts. And so I really want to debunk that. I want to actually talk about detoxification and cleansing in the way that I look at it in my own life, in the way that I look at it with my babies, my family, and my clients, which is about disease prevention. There is one fact, even before we start this class, this webinar, that I always think about, and it's the fact that we have 600% more cars on the road compared to the 1950s. So if you don't even think about anything, if you just think about the cars, the pollution, the toxicity, the computer that you are sitting at daily, the iPhone, the smartphone, and just daily stress of living, every time we stress, we are killing off good bacteria in our gut. I mean, literally, every time we stress. So even if that person cuts you off in the car and you're driving home from work, or it's a good stress, maybe you're getting married, maybe you've got the job that you've been dreaming of, or maybe it's not a great stress, physically or emotionally. Even going to the dentist can be a stress on our body. So that is why we want to make sure that we are really having healthy detoxification so that these toxins don't build up and cause all these symptoms that we seem to have in today's world and all of these diseases. So we are going to talk about why losing weight is really key with detoxification, but I want you to understand that detoxification covers all of these different categories. I have so many clients who come to me who either can't lose weight, or they can't poop daily, or they have chronic colds. And I always start with a very simple detoxification plan, which really just means you are eliminating common foods that you eat every day. And some of these foods may be healthy. Dr. Oz may be chatting about it. You may be, the kind of person like myself that reads a lot of books or on Mercola or wherever you're finding out information, or different people who say eat this and not that. But detoxification and the elimination diet is really about finding what actually works for you. So if you're a kind of person who is eating all the right foods, or you think so, but you still have this belly bloat and this congestion, you feel a tightness on your right side, which is your liver, a gurgling on your left side, which is your stomach, and maybe just that uncomfortable feeling lower down, which are your intestines, then it is time for us to really talk about detox. So one thing that I want to talk about, which I think is so interesting about detoxification, is face mapping. So even if you look at this right here, before we even get in deeper to talking about detoxification, you can start to see different areas that may be toxic. There are different ways that we can look at our body, because most of us, even if we do the best tests out there, and maybe you on this phone call have, you know, liver enzymes. They're a little high. Maybe you on this phone call have high cholesterol, which you think, or somebody has told you that, it's just genetics. Or maybe you have been told that you do have a similar story to my own, which was heavy metal toxicity and a boatload of pathogens, which we'll talk about in a few minutes. Sometimes these tests, although great, allergy tests and thyroid tests and candida tests and stool tests, it doesn't always show what really is glaring, which is the underlying toxicity which we all bear. So if you start to look at your face and you start to actually look at your tongue, if you put your tongue out in the mirror tonight and you say, oh, this crazy girl Rachel was telling me about looking at my tongue, and if you see a white film, in our mouth, we always have, some level of strep, and we always have some level of yeast also known as candida. If you look at it and you have a white coating or a very thick coating in the back, we know that there's excess mucus in your body. Excess mucus holds on, it carries toxins. It also creates congestion. So if you're the kind of person that has IBS, too many stools, or very loose, explosive ones in the morning, or constipation, we know that there is an excess of mucus in the body. If you have ear infections, sinus infections, or if your child suffers from the same, or asthma, we know that there's excess mucus in the body. I'm not a doctor, not a nutritionist, but I've been around the block long enough to know mucus in the body is created when there is extra toxicity. And toxicity can come from the food we eat, the lotions we wear, the perfume we just breathed walking around, the pesticides we're breathing in the air, even if you're eating from your local farmer's market and supporting, supporting the organic life, or eating, all organic, we're still breathing. So I want you to take a look at your tongue tonight and see, do you have a very pale tongue? In pale tongue shows that, lots of blood is just not moving through your body. And you might be that person that has lower back pain. You might not sleep that great. You may wake up around 2-3 o'clock in the morning. These are all signs of imbalances. Imbalances, the great freaking thing about imbalances is it's really easy to get back into balance. You just need to figure out that step-by-step plan on how to get rid of the junk in the body, and also what exact steps you need to take to figure out what really are the right foods for you. So let's even just talk about face mapping. This is one of the many techniques that I use in my business, working with my clients and also working with myself, that really showed what no test was showing. That even though I did have mercury poisoning and I did have every different pathogen known to man, it wasn't showing some of those underlying organs that really needed support. And even though when we detoxify with seasons, we're honoring different organs. Right now, we honor the large intestine and the lungs. Every day we have to take care of the liver, who has 500 metabolic processes to do in our divine bodies. Every day we have to support our lymphatic system, or we have acne, adult or young, or we have inflammation in our joints, or we don't sleep right, or we're constipated, or, all of these things end up happening. So take a look, the bags under your eyes, that's your kidneys. A lot of people will hear adrenal fatigue. So if you have bags under your eyes, this can be kidney weakness. And kidneys get weakened by toxins. They get weakened by food intolerances that stem from imbalances in the gut. And remember, we're always going back to the gut. We're always going back to supporting each organ, because you're never going to lose weight. You're never going to get rid of, the thyroid imbalance or the different symptoms that may be showing up in your life if you don't start to address the body on a whole level. So as I said, take a little time, and I will be sending out a recap of this, to really look at face mapping. What I think is so interesting is right here at number 2 was an area that nobody, except of course my acupuncturist, really showed up. It didn't show up on a test that my liver and my spleen were showing weakness. But I knew as I started to work and eliminate foods, although really healthy, foods that I was eating that were actually weakening my spleen strength, weakening my liver, making it overwork. And when your liver is overworked, very often you'll wake up between 1 to 3 in the morning, tend to be a little irritated during the day, tend to have rashes and hives and allergies. And, these are just a few things that happen. And again, the liver really has to be taken care of on a daily basis. So one of the things that I did when I found out that I had, different pathogens and mercury poisoning and all of that. And it, early in my life, it wasn't that case. It was, I was a healthy kid. I swam competitively, but I got an ulcer when I was 14. And that led to having asthma. And then I had, and still all the time I was working out, and I was, got into real estate after college and was very successful, but just didn't feel great. I actually remember saying to my mom, I was about 24, 25, and I said to my mom, something isn't right. I'm telling you, like, something's not right. And it was just when the trash can really spilled over. And I remember looking yellowish and not feeling great. And that's when I realized, I needed to just get very serious about getting rid of toxicity in my body. I had seen cancer in my family, up and down, early deaths of my grandparents, cardio, heart issues, all these different things. And I said, there is no way I'm going there. And when I found out after a boatload of tests and a crap load of money, that I had all these different junk in my body, nobody told me, hey, your liver's pretty toxic. And, they told me I had adrenal fatigue, but nobody got into really talking about how to take back my own health. It was test after test and person after person, and a lot of different, sadness and feeling helpless and hopeless, because I felt that how was I going to get better? And this is not just for a person with digestive issues. This is a person with metabolism issues, insulin resistance, all the things that we hear about, high cholesterol, kidney issues. This is when, digestion has gone wrong. I always say when we're at the disease state, or when our organs just say, I can't do it anymore. So long story short is I went to Institute for Integrative Nutrition. I then furthered my education at 3 different detox schools, because I realized that detoxification is really about disease prevention, and empowering other people to learn about that is really a huge part of what I do. What happens when we have toxic overload? There is no doubt that you start to feel like this young lady. We have weight gain, we have food allergies, we have anxiety, depression, belly bloat. I mean, you name it, low sex drive is huge. And energy. I can't tell you how many people I work with, myself included, when the toxins are in overload, there is going to be zilch and zero, nada energy. So the big thing with detoxification and weight loss is that you have to drain that lymphatic system. You have to support the liver. So some of the symptoms, that can arise when you are just tons of toxins. And again, think of this. You touch something, within 30 seconds, whatever you have touched has entered your bloodstream and is created either a cascade of inflammation or you have no problem. Most of us have some level of inflammation. You don't need to have a huge hive to say that's inflammation. For me, it's actually the scarier, more silent inflammation that we don't see. And that's why when I tell people itchy skin, yeah, that's liver issues, and it's also your kidneys going, I just need some support. Excess weight, most people have some metabolism issues, thyroid issues. And I'm seeing tons of people with Hashimoto's, Graves', different diseases that are coming up these days, autoimmune, which I myself have dealt with, since I've been 25 years old. What we can do about it is to detoxify on a daily basis, because when we get parasites, candida, urinary tract infections, pathogens, that is when the body has finally said, my immune system is not strong and I am out of here. So there is a simple solution, and that is the power food. Number one, 90% of our toxin exposure comes from the food we eat, which is so completely crazy. So make sure if you are eating, meats, that they're organic, that they're, nitrate free, make sure wherever possible that you are taking care of the food that puts into your body. I always say, sometimes it can be a little expensive. So by all means, find a local farmer's market, go to a CSA, make sure that you are putting the right foods into your body so that you can reduce that toxic overload. Foods, no matter who you are, and I remember saying in detox school talking about this, most people, you don't need to be celiac. Most people in this world are not processing wheat. And most people are not processing gluten. It is a mucus producing food. So the more that you demucus your body, which cheese is mucus producing also because it's just mold, unfortunately, it tastes so good. But any of these foods that you see right here are going to add to that toxicity level. And especially, sugar, one is going to spike that insulin. And if that insulin and glucose are high for long enough, all of a sudden we go into fat storage mode. No matter who we are, you can either be in fat burning mode or you can be in fat storage mode. The same thing with caffeine. Most of us are in this blood sugar roller coaster because we can't break down the glucose that is entering our body. I have some clients who cannot even eat fruit simply because their sugars are completely imbalanced. So make sure, if that is you, that you start adding cinnamon to your foods. Make sure that you're having protein, plant or non-plant protein with good healthy fats, such as avocado. Avocado is amazing for the thyroid as well. So we always want to think about what is happening in our body. Are we adding toxins? Or are we taking them away? The most important thing when you're adding foods in, get really alkaline. The basis of alkalinity is more oxygen to your body. So one of the ways, food. Yes, you want to, as you see in this chart, and when I take people through detoxification, in the programs that I offer, we talk a lot about alkalinity. We even talk about pH strips. I have all of my clients and some of my detoxers who have some other compounding health issues to really do pH strips as well. And look at what foods, eating more alkaline in balance, the yin and the yang, would be great for the body. Things that you always want to have on board, greens. They're going to pull out that extra mucus, any of the junk that is, sitting on the sides of your colon wall, and also help to alkalize your body. Smoothies, it's not that smoothies need to be everything in the kitchen sink. Think about adding in foods that are easy to digest. Smoothies, soups, pureed foods. It's not that you have to be on a liquid diet by any means, but if you are that person that feels that you are suffering right now, and suffering doesn't mean that you need to have a disease or walking around with a serious health issue. Suffering could mean that, that belly bloat that you're feeling is completely taking away from the quality and the happiness in your life. It can mean that the energy, and I had one client that I worked with whose energy level was so low, this person could not enjoy her family. And so whatever is taking away from your life with your health, that to me is a disease state. Because if you're not living in the purity of the vibration that you are meant to live in, what's the point, right? So we want to add in green juices, low glycemic carbs, if you can handle that. My favorite ones, quinoa, buckwheat, amaranth, and millet. Although remember, again, for many people, what may be a healthy carbohydrate, low glycemic, may be the absolute thing that is killing you. And I say killing you just mean adding inflammation into that more diseased and acid state. So if you're like me, you don't feel like going to Diseaseville, because I don't. I know my genetics. I know what's in my family. Then this is what I end up doing in my life. Those nutrient dense, foods, those lymphatic flushers, lemon, lime, grapefruit, making sure that you have, a lot of these superfoods, bee pollen, raw cacao, sea vegetables for our thyroid, and really for those minerals that we are so desperately lacking. We cannot have healthy detoxification, cannot have healthy cells if we are not giving them, really minerals, oxygen, good fats, which you will see coconut oil, and of course our superfood grasses, wheatgrass, barley grass, and spirulina. Those are really your bigger, huge regenerators. There's been so many studies on wheatgrass and really the benefits for even fighting off, cancer cells, which we all have. So what happens with toxins? This is really, you're seeing it clear, plain view. These toxins enter our body, go into our liver, and then it just turns to fat. That is really what cellulite is. It is fat. It's toxins actually stored in your fat. So if you have cellulite or a varicose vein, we know that there's not good circulation. We know that there's toxicity. So you can do something about it. The most effective, detoxes are really ones that are just like safe ones that not only are just all whole foods and and maybe extra added medicinal fun stuff like chaga or some superfoods or essential oils if you so want to. But it's really making sure that you're eating the right food to detoxify each of these different organs, and making sure that you're also eating in accordance with the seasons. So when you eat in accordance with the seasons, you're really consuming that nature's bounty to naturally cleanse your body. You can really take control. And I say this, as I watched my little munchkin face, who's only 5, skin brush the other day. And I realized, wow, I've literally taken and shown my kids what I do, and that is the power of changing the game for our little ones and also for yourself. So different things that I touch on when I take people through a detoxification program. One is food combining. If you are, and I'll give you the basics of food combining. One, you have to eat fruit alone. 2, the best combinations of food is going to be protein and vegetables. If you're having a carbohydrate, a starch with a vegetable. But if you combine a few of, a protein and fruit and a carbohydrate, you're asking your body to digest foods in different states. Protein needing an acid state, fruit and carbs being an alkaline state, and that of vegetables. So the most important thing to do when you're trying to lose weight or detoxify is to learn about food combining. This is something that Mary Lou Henner, Donna Gates, Mary Lou Henner from Taxi, so old school with that show. But Donna Gates, many of my different teachers, food combining is essential to our vitality, to lose weight, and to stop imbalances in our gut. I also teach people about oil pulling. I know this has been around for years and centuries, and we don't often talk about it, but it is a way to naturally cleanse out the bad pathogens in your gut and your mouth. And your mouth, again, is where we are hosting strep, and we're also hosting candida, always at some level. Castor oil packs, again, a centuries this has been around. And yet we aren't doing these easy, simple ways. I used to think I would have to go get a lymphatic massage to drain my body. Those days are over, and I'm being dead serious about this. Even tonight, my son sat in an Epsom salt bath to give sulfur to the detox pathways, which they need. So it's learning all of those tricks and those tools for making sure that not only are you losing weight, not only are you feeling healthy, but these are tools that you can do every day of your life. It's not like going and saying, I'm going to go get a colonic every day. I mean, these are really simple tools that one can use every day so that you're not, having that pile up of toxicity. When we have a pile up of toxicity, most of us get sick. We get swollen lymph nodes, hence the lymphatic system, your sewage system. So everything you eat either promotes health or disease. That's really it. So as we talked about before, alkalinity, finding balance, repair and regenerate, all of that, and not just doing that physically, emotionally letting go of the absolute garbage that doesn't serve you, emotionally letting go of a diseased state of thinking, people that may not be serving you, situations that may not be serving you, and getting the guidance and the support to do that. Because it's never just a physical game. Our mind has so much power, and so much power to either support us to thrive or keep us in a state of fear. And, fear is just part of human existence because we are created to be dreamers. I mean, that's the pure beauty of who we are. But when we are dreamers as humans, we also are faced with a lot of fears, and those fears can cause stagnation in the liver. They can cause your kidneys and in your lower back to feel tired and weak. So a proper detox is taking you through both physical and emotional support so you can let go and really repair. So if you are craving more energy, you feel like getting supported, you feel like signing up for the fall detox and cleanse, we are going to cover all of what you just saw and more. You are going to get me, I think it's like for the next pretty much 75 days in a closed forum. You get to ask me questions about the probiotics I use, how to support your body. You get a program with 60 plus recipes, as well as access to a kickoff webinar where I am going to go through how to oil pull, and I'm going to go through skin brushing. I'm going to go through alkalinity and food combining, talk about protein and detox, and kind of debunk a lot of what's out there. I know for myself, I have about maybe 100 different books on detox. And over the years, I've just pulled what is most important to me in different places, but really look at detoxification for the individual. So what I've done is created a program that really can be individualized, no matter who you are, no matter how busy you are, and giving you a 3-prong process where you pre-detox, we clean out the junk, so that your body isn't in shock mode at all. Then you're really eating whole foods for, a good 7 days. And for most people I work with, for most people who sign up for my detox, some people extend that 7 days because as we're adding back in foods, we really want to look for those hidden sensitivities, the ones that don't show up on an allergy test, the ones that are waking you up at 2, 3 in the morning, or where you eat and you feel like you have bags under your eyes, or all of a sudden you're peeing a lot, which is a sign of kidneys being a little tired, or your hands are swollen. All of these hidden what the heck is going on with my body is what we go over in this program. And again, you get to download the program, do this really at any time. But the great thing about this program is its introduction to clean eating and also an amazing way to lose weight. I've had so many clients do this and say, I can't believe in this amount of time I was eating this food that I really wasn't, that wasn't doing well for my body, that was causing all this bloat and inflammation. I've had people who have done one day of the juice cleanse, because you get a juice cleanse, as well as even 10 additional juice recipes. And if you don't have a juicer, I'm going to teach you how to juice without a juicer. But the cool thing is you really get support. And I know for myself, being a mom, being a business owner, being just a person in this world, it's a rare opportunity that I get to go to like adult campgrounds. I get to go back to detox school in about 2.5 weeks. And I'm so excited because that's adult campground. I'm going for iridology, which will be another tool that I'll use in my business for myself and for my clients to really understand those deeper strengths and weaknesses of the body and each organ. But often we don't have somebody or a place or community to just say, here, I'm going to go and get support. So if you want to sign up for the fall detox and cleanse, it is $67. You can bring a friend and you get a discount. We are officially kicking off next week on the 16th. I'm so excited. And it would be an honor to have you. If you have a hint of, you know what, this chick is kind of talking about me, then I encourage you to sign up. If you have a hint of, I want to learn more about essential oils and detox and the lymphatic system and liver and food combining, and it would be really great to chat with Rach in a forum daily, then I encourage you to either email me if you have any questions or just sign up. So it's awesome talking to you guys tonight. If you do anything for weight loss and detoxification, if you don't want to come and play with me this season, make sure that when you wake up, drink, water with lemon. Make sure you increase your hydration. Make sure that you're eating foods that support your liver to deal with the stress of this world. Because the truth is, if you're not decreasing the toxins in your body, one day the trash can is going to spill over. Genes load the gun and environment pulls the trigger. So always think, what is pulling your trigger and how long do you want the trigger to be pulled for? Because for me, I don't feel like having the trigger pulled. I know what genes that came to the table. I know what's in my family history. So take some time to really think about what is vital for the success of your life, your health, your vitality, and your energy. And it's been a great time talking to you guys. I hope you have a wonderful night, and I will see you all soon. Again, if you have any questions, you can go to detox.rachelswellness.com, or you can just visit my site at www.rachelswellness.com. All right, have a great night. Talk to you soon.